Hey everyone, it's Jerry from the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. And today on the show, we have our great friend Julia from Punks with Lunch Lansing. How you doing, Julia?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I see you're down in the Fledge's basement. Everyone recognizes the tapestry now.
Yep,
So welcome.
hiding out in the
Uh,
basement.
yeah. What you been doing today? Did you have to work?
No, I had today off. Well, it's never a
All
day
right.
off because after this, I have to go run around and do errands and take care of things. But I'm not at my day job.
Yeah. So why don't we get to that? Why don't you tell us a little bit about Julia and a little bit about Punks with Lunch Lansing.
Okay, a little bit about Julia. 40-something years old, born and raised in Lansing. Been here kicking it my whole life, pretty much. Doing odd things and just doing my best to take care of my little corner of the universe and working my stupid day job and taking care of Punks with Lunch Lansing.
Yeah. So first of all, what high school did you go to?
Eastern.
So you're a Quaker too.
I'm a Quaker, yeah.
So
Don't
we're
ask me
fellow.
the song, I don't know it.
Did we have a song? I didn't even know anything about that.
Someday.
So
But I don't know what it
why
is.
don't you what do you tell us about Punks with Lunch Lansing? What do you guys do?
Okay, so Punks with Lunch Lansing. It's a chapter that's based out of an organization that's based out of California, and the chapter here in Lansing was started 3 years ago in November, and basically what we do is kind of a grassroots group that gets together and goes out and looks out for people. We do that in means of providing food, harm reduction supplies, hygiene supplies, predominantly to people that are unsheltered, but not necessarily completely. It's just, basically people who need, if it's, they're got a little bit more week before their, paycheck comes and they need some help with food assistance, or if they need some help with hygiene supplies, harm reduction supplies, shelter supplies if they are unsheltered. We try to help them to the best of our ability. We get together every other weekend and provide food and via sack lunches and just go out throughout the week when we can in our regular jobs and get out to the people in need to get as much supplies and food as we can.
So how many people volunteer or are in the organization Punks with Lunch Lansing?
I always think it's funny when people say organization because we're so disorganized. Well, the core people, there's probably about maybe I'd say between 7 and 10 people that come out every single time consistently, and then we always have a smattering of anywhere between like 3 to 10 other people that just kind of randomly show up, and sometimes they'll show up a couple times, and sometimes they'll show up regularly for 6 months, and sometimes they show up once and then again another year. But it's just here and there. They'll we have people coming in and out all the time, and people help out in other ways behind the scenes, as far as like they've never come to an actual distro, but they regularly donate. They send supplies. They provide us with peanut butter and jelly. They do their own way in whatever capacity they can manage, and it's all appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that too, man. Every little second helps, and every little thing helps.
Mm-hmm.
It's rivers are made with drops of water. So,
Exactly.
what's on your shirt?
My shirt is a really cool shirt that I got. It says "I carry Narcan," and I got that from a page I follow, Punk with a Camera. That page I was telling you about, that mask was wearing a few weeks ago. I got it from the same place.
Yeah. Well, nobody knows that you and I talked 2 weeks ago.
Oh, whoops.
No,
Well,
that's okay.
and Narcan is, yeah. And as you
Yeah.
know, Narcan is the component that helps to reverse. So, and that's another big aspect of Punks with Lunch in my life. And what we do is providing harm reduction supplies, and providing Narcan and other supplies for people who are either around or using opioids, so that we can hopefully help them and keep them alive and keep them going, keep them safe as they go along their journey.
Do you ever get any flack for that, like helping people with harm reduction supplies?
Yeah, we do. Sometimes people consider it, to be enabling. Um, and there have been some people, even within the group, that have, when they first came in, they saw it as, possibly being enabling a person. But you have to think about that. I don't know. I always tell people, you can't send a dead person to rehab. And if you're helping somebody out, and you're helping to hopefully keep them going, keeping them alive, keeping them strong, and be it by providing them with Narcan, or providing them with food, or providing them with safe use supplies, and providing them with hygiene supplies, so that they are able to have the energy to keep on going, and have be have a feeling of being clean, or having their teeth brushed, or just feeling about themselves, so that they can you know have it in their have the power within themselves to keep on going in their day, and hopefully eventually look at where they can get themselves to where they want to be. And if that's to seek a reality, or to seeking housing, or a better job, or a better housing situation, whatever it is, we're hoping that we can keep people motivated and fed and happy, and feeling keeping themselves strong, so that they get to that point, just to keep on going.
And we've got a lot of people out in the crowd right now: Cindy, Aubrey, and Chris Pruitt. And Cindy's really cheering you on. So is Aubrey, about you're enabling people to live and helping them. I always say 20 minutes at a time. And I'm going to say something heartbreaking. I told you and I might cry on screen, but I just want to remind everybody that my 29-year-old daughter died of a fentanyl overdose 3 years ago, on Father's Day. And if Quality Dairy, I am calling you out, would have had Narcan in their facilities, especially the ones that have public bathrooms, then my daughter might not have been without breathing for 25 minutes, might have got an ambulance to her, and might have had another chance. And I would have really appreciated that, because, we have the stigma about addiction. We have the stigma about substance use, and it's personal. It's personal to a lot of us. And we know a lot of people who have died of an overdose, or who are dealing with substance use. And this is an important subject to me, Julia. You're my hero, if you don't know that. So, and can we
My
talk
hero,
about harm?
Jerry.
Yeah, we're heroes together. What can we talk about harm reduction Michigan a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Harm Reduction Michigan is actually based out of Traverse City, and they also have other branches in, I think, Cadillac and Midland. I'm not sure there's other places right now, but they are our primary supplier right now of Narcan, and so we get the bulk of our supplies from them, and so they are wonderful people to partner with, and they are a growing operation, and they are continuing through all of Michigan, help little groups like us help keep people alive, and we couldn't do it without them. So support Harm Reduction Michigan, and if anybody out there is wanting to get a hold of some Narcan, to in their first aid supplies, I think it's like a necessary thing for everybody to have. If you need some, hit me up and I'll get it for you.
And if you have a public bathroom, please consider that. And I think everybody should carry it because substance use can be hidden for a long time from people, and I don't know, you never know when you're going to need it. So we've got Chris out there. Oh, I want to talk about a different thing. Safe needles. We've been distributing clean needles for several months now out of the Fledge. Do you guys do that, or is that something you want to talk about or can talk about?
Yes, we do. Yeah,
why is that important?
We've also been writing. Why is that important? It helps to deter the spread of disease and communicable diseases, and it helps to deter from infections. People who reuse needles are more prone to to spread disease and to get infections from the wound, and so we try to provide clean needles and wound care supplies as well, so that if it's all part of the harm reduction process, and helping people stay safe, so that as you're going along their journey, and hopefully they get to the point they want to get into seeking rehab, that they are in their best tip-top shape, and they are free of illness, free of disease, free of infection, and are in their best top form to get themselves there.
Yeah. So our friend Chris, he says it's all about giving hope and restoring dignity, and I think that's a great way to say it. Chris also said that he's sitting he's in the back 40, I think, and the LPD is going to shut that down on Friday morning. He said Monday, but I think it's Friday.
I think it is Friday.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you see the LPD's reasoning for that? Is it neighbors complaining? What's going on? Do you know?
It's hard because in some ways I can see the reasoning. There's quite a few people back there, and it's hard to maintain, and it might be partially a safety and health reason, because there's not enough access to walking supplies, as far as places to use the bathroom, ways to maintain the trash. And so I can see where it is an issue, but I really would have liked if instead of just booting them out and sending them packing to where are they going to go, what are they going to do, LPD could work with the people to help them maintain a better quality of life in that location.
We need a universal basic income.
It's pointless just to kick them out. Yeah. it's pointless to kick them out and just send them somewhere else to start brand new someplace else.
And that's what's going to happen. There's going to be one person somewhere else in the city, or pods of people popping up in other places, and it doesn't really solve the problem.
Exactly.
So do you think that so there's two things here with the people who need some basic stuff like food and shelter and clothing, and then substance use. So I'll separate the two for a second. Are you seeing a rise during the pandemic in people that need assistance?
Absolutely, yes. There's people who, didn't need it before, who are now suddenly, struggling with, the restaurant they worked at closed down and they haven't got their unemployment yet, or unemployment's not enough to, provide everything. And so I've seen more and more people hitting up the food pantries or asking for assistance and helping with, pay a utility bill, or pay for some rent, or there's definitely been a huge increase in people that are needing an extra hand.
So, you reminded me, you run the TARDIS by Everyone
Mm-hmm.
Reads and Triple Goddess in the Avenue there. Did we say that already?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
No, we
well,
didn't.
oh, okay. Can anybody put anything they want in there?
I wouldn't put anything you want in there. Generally, it's non-perishable food items that are not expired. Goods, bulk goods. Depending on the weather, right now it's been really cold, so some things, people could put, for bread or produce in there. It's probably going to be safe. It usually doesn't stick around too long, for that it would be okay. I wouldn't suggest putting, gallons of milk and a chunk of cheese in there necessarily, but if people have non-perishable food items that they want to help and get out to people, we definitely have the ways and means to be able to get it. But it's predominantly for non-perishable food items. People can also put some hygiene items. I've had people put in menstrual products in, as long as they're packed up neatly in packages or boxes. I've had people put in, little bottles of shampoo, stuff like that. I've had people put in cat food. We actually, a while back, it's quite a while back, we ran into a guy who's their artist and was looking in there, and he asked me if there was any tuna fish, and I told him no, there wasn't. We were putting stuff in, there wasn't any tuna fish in there. But he said, well, sometimes I look in there and get tuna fish because I have a cat and I give a cat. So I started, okay, well, every now and then I'll throw in some cans of cat food in there too, just in case. Hopefully, because there's people out there that need help with getting food for their pets too.
So I put a couple cigarettes in there before, and I think you scolded me. Did you?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
I
I haven't
understand,
done it
I get
since.
it. I mean, I sometimes, I don't even smoke, but I'll sometimes have like a cheap pack of cigarettes on me just to give people, because when you're going through rough times, and sometimes just having a cigarette's gonna make your day feel a little bit better. I totally get that. So I'll have them just to bum out to people, but I just worry about things like cigarettes or cold medicine that got into the hands of a minor. Then yeah, we wouldn't want to deal with that issue.
Yeah, that was the big mistake I didn't realize I was making there. Is that, some 12-year-old could have grabbed it. So,
Yeah, we don't want that.
let's
Smoking's
flip
bad.
to
Don't do it.
smoking sucks, man. So let's flip to the harm reduction side for a second. Not that it's all not on the continuum of harm reduction, but what about use, overdose, even death by overdose? What are you seeing an increase there too?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. There's definitely increase of all of that, I think. I think people are struggling, and they are mentally struggling, financially struggling, and they're looking for crutches to help them get through. And all we can do is just everybody and look out for everybody. And I always tell people, like, we love you no matter what you're doing with your life, no matter what. Like, we want to look out for you.
So I got a couple questions from the crowd that I'm going to switch to real quick. Cindy's asking, is there an actual building or kitchen that the Punks with Lunch works out of?
Like, actual building?
Yes.
We don't have an office as of right now. We're working on it, but we don't have like a headquarters. We do have an area that we work out of, obviously, that we pack our lunches up at. And our lunches are the assemblies are, due to COVID, are pretty close to the core members, the core volunteers who come and help us do assembly, because we're only allowed to have X amount of people at a time. So we kind of keep the information as far as where we pack our lunches at kind of under wraps, because we don't want 50 people showing up to come help pack sack lunches, because we just can't have that.
Yeah.
Plus,
but
you only need X amount of people to make the environment.
Yeah. There's big plans though, right? You got some stuff up your sleeve. We'll find out.
Yeah, we're working on some things. And we're looking into getting a building where we can hopefully be able to provide supplies more regularly, and have people have more access to us.
So if somebody knows of a good building on the east side that can help them out, let us know.
Yes.
So what's something or some things, because I imagine you have a plethora of things that you have to do to keep this going, but what's something you do to keep the mission going every damn day?
Okay, I'm going to try to really quickly tell this story. When I was in high school, I had this class that I took in senior year, and I think Miss Watkins was the teacher. I'm not positive of her name, but I think it was Miss Watkins. It was Finding Your Future, and they basically did things like teach you how to balance a checkbook, and teach you how to budget your bills, and what clothes to wear to a job interview type stuff. And the teacher in the beginning of the class told us that as an adult, when people meet you, everybody, when you meet a new person, most of the time, the first thing that person is going to ask you is, they're going to ask you, what do you do? And that what they generally mean is, what do you do for a living? Like, what do you do to make money? What do you do spring? What do you do with the majority of time, which is usually, what do you do for a living? And that basically, that what people do for a living is what defines most other people. And in my 17-year-old cocky attitude, I thought, well, the heck with that. And I didn't want to be defined by what I do to pay my bills. And I kind of set it off as like my life's mission to make sure that whatever it is I'm doing is something that's helping out with people and helping out the community and making much money, but it's doing something that's making some part of the world a better place, and is hopefully making me feel better, and making me a better me, whether it's making $1 million or making 50 cents. That's something I do every day is to kind of keep myself in check and to make sure that what am I doing to hopefully, make the world a better place, be it, whether it's working my little day job at the corner grocery store, or going out and feeding 100 people,
Well, I
So
think
that's
you
what
are
I do.
doing a hell of a job at that. And I'm so proud to know you and so proud to have you on this show. So yesterday we had a friend of ours, Janelle, on the show, and she's got a question to pass on to you. And her question was, if you had a microphone and it was hooked up to every city's speaker and every speaker in the world, and you could say something to everybody in the world, what would you say to them?
Um, I would say, love yourselves and love each other, and again, that we love you no matter what you've got going on in your life. We want you to be safe.
That's right. And that advice right there applies to so much. Wear a fucking mask. Stay at home when you need to stay home. Be safe with COVID, because we got a bunch of plans for next year and we want all of you here to participate in it. So, yeah, I love that advice.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I want to do this year that I'm not getting done, and I've got a lot of stuff I want to do next year that I need to get done. So,
yeah. So let's all be
so wear a
safe
mask.
together. So tomorrow on the show, we've got Madeline Smith. She's a young lady who wants to start an indoor do-it-yourself skate park. What question would you like to ask
That's
Madeline?
awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. Punks and skateboarding are hand in hand.
Yeah, I want to work with this. I love this. What do I want to ask Madeline? Okay, Madeline. Okay, I'm this creepy little goth kid at heart. So my question is, what do you want on your tombstone?
What do you want on your tombstone, Madeline? She's like 19. She's going to freak out with that question. So I always flip the question around. What do you want your tombstone to say?
It smells like feet in here.
That's hilarious. When you asked that question earlier, I was thinking, what do I want my tombstone to say? And at the end of the day, I think I just want to be cremated. I definitely don't want that.
Pepperoni and bacon.
No way. So I think Peppo hears your voice. She's looking for ham. So as we start to finish up here, something I didn't prepare you for, but if you watch the show, you might know about it. What do you want to take us out with? What's the last thing you want to say to everybody about anything right now? Do you have any events coming up? How can people participate? Anything like that? Or just deuces, we're out of here.
Well, we have events, going every other weekend. We're doing distribution. And if people need help or need supplies in the meantime, we try to help out as much as we can. We're really small. We don't have a ton of supplies or money or anything, but we help out what we can. If people need help with harm reduction stuff, if they need to get Narcan, they can contact us via the Punks with Lunch page or the email, punkswithlunch@lansing.com. And just keep on taking care of each other and wear damn masks so that we can get through this here.
Yeah, great advice, Julia. I love you so much. I love what you guys are doing. Thanks for coming on the
I love
show.
you too.
I'll put some links in the description and all that so you guys can find Punks with Lunch pretty easy. The crowd, thank you so much for your questions and your comments today. And Julia, you are truly my hero. You have a spot in my heart forever. So we'll see y'all tomorrow on Every
I
Damn
love you,
Day.
Gary.
I love you too. I'll talk to you later. See you, everybody. See